is the Better Life, Better Work show, and I'm your host, Allison Crow. I'm an intuitive life and business coach here to help you create better life and better work. I help super successful people, the recovering overachievers, put the soul back in their lives, and I help soulful people create success. On this show, topics range from the mystic to the logistic, and our content will support your being and your doing while on your path to create better life and better work. More is not better. Better is better. Hey. Guess what? Chicken butt. This is Allison, and I am coming to you from my phone. No fancy system, no fancy microphone, a little wobbly because my hand is here. Today is the day that I'm supposed to be recording my podcast for, I don't want all this other stuff. Yeah, hi, I want my comments. Where are my comments? I'm supposed to be recording my podcast, and I just grabbed my second cup of coffee. And what I really, really wanted to do was just connect with you. I wanted to connect with you who pop by and see this live. Say hi if you're here. I'm going to see if I can try to... Oh, there's the comments. Let's see. Oh, no, that was right, a comment. We'll see if I can see comments. Please, Facebook, tell me I can see comments. That was one of the things. I sat down to record, and I didn't want to do the StreamYard thing, which I normally love, but I just don't want all the extra bells and whistles. I just want you and me and us. And so I sat down behind Facebook, just regular live, and it was all complicated and professional. And right now I don't want to be professional. I just want to connect with you. And so I'm on my phone. Everything in my office is pretty much packed up. So I'm holding it. I don't even have one of those fancy little stands. And so here I am with you. So if you're here, say hi. And here's what I'm going to do. Let me turn the sound off on my desktop because I can't see comments on my phone. And that's what I really want to see. I know. Wonderful for a podcast recording. Thank you for getting it. I did think, as I sat down, I have a specific topic I'm supposed to cover. I'm not covering it today. What I want to cover is whatever comes up. I wanted to just connect. Okay, I have mute on. That way I can look at my computer. So whether you're here live or whether you are here replay or whether you are here with some kind of earbuds or through your car on your podcast, Odie, hi. Melinda, hi. Now I can see your comments. I wonder what I can do to see comments on this podcast. On my phone. Remember the old days? I'm old enough to say the old days. Remember when you just picked up your phone and went live and there weren't all these things? And I'm really feeling drawn to that. So I titled this Connection is Everything. And this morning I sat down to write my weekly check-in, mastermind accountability. I'd really just call it a debrief for my coach. And we talk about what's working and what's not working and all those things. And I realize what's really working is just connecting. And when I say working, I don't just mean making money. I mean what is filling my heart. This week I had a really stressful week. And a really just personally stressed. We're moving. That's stressful. COVID, that's stressful. Negotiation on contracts, that's stressful. And I'm hoping I can see y'all's comments. Let's see if we can get it here. And what I thought about what went really well, and what went really well was my personal connections with clients in coaching sessions. My coaching sessions just fill me up. The people I'm in love with. I'm in love with my people. I'm in love with my clients. I'm in love with the way they love and support each other. Yeah, do not disturb. And my connections behind the scenes, my connection with my husband. I got a really sweet call from a client yesterday who also happens to be my realtor this time around. And she was in a class where they asked them to let somebody know that, I can't remember if it was like, let somebody know you appreciate them or send a message to somebody who is really resilient or who reminds you that you're resilient. I can't remember, but resilience is one of my things. Like, I'm resilient. That's my security. And I want to encourage you, that's your security. Whatever that is, you're resilient. And I just got the sweetest heartfelt message. I got the sweetest heartfelt message from my client, and sweet tears came up, and it just felt really good to know that that's the message that my clients are getting in between all the other stuff. And today I just wanted to come. Hi, Laura. I just wanted to come and have coffee with you guys. How are you doing? And I don't mean that lightly. I talked with a girlfriend yesterday that we're in this place of COVID. We're 5 months in. March 11th was my last day of normalcy. And now it is what it is. And we're 5.5 months in. And there was a while back where kind of got to the mental place of surrender. And in the past, when we surrender, it's like everything opens up and nothing's really changed. And so there's just this strangeness, we're still adjusting and there's still a lot going on. Kay says she just landed a new client. Oh, I found the comments, y'all. I found the comments. Allison Nathan, blast the past. I'm moving out in your direction. Although I don't know if you're in Austin or Marble Falls anymore. We're moving to Lago Vista next week. Kay, congratulations on the new client. If you're listening to this on the podcast, send me a message and let me know what's up and how you are. And here's why I wanted to go to connection. I listen to my clients and I hear the things that come up with them, and the same things that come up with me come up with them. And one of the things that comes up over and over and over and over and over again is all the striving. All the, I should be doing more. I should be doing it with this equipment. I should be making this much money. One of my sweet clients yesterday said, I met my goals and I feel guilty for spending time with my kids. And here it is August and she met her goals. And why does our brain, not her brain, but our brain as a species, go either, oh, I have to keep striving and kick ass, or I have to quit? And it was like, well, congratulations. In August, you met your goal. And what if you just relaxed and unfolded the rest of the year? No more hustle, no more. More is not better, y'all. Better is better. And so my coach reminded me last week, I was about to spend more money. That's what I explained to her. We are conditioned for more. We're conditioned to think the joy is outside of us. We're conditioned to think that somebody else's rhythm is what's good for us. And so the other thing that happened this week is one of my mastermind clients, who's also a Soli member, but my mastermind client is transitioning her business from working. She's got like 72,000 followers on Instagram. She has a list size that is insane. And she has just been helping. And she has a program that is really easy feat, but she also does some corporate work. And then she also has a few high-end clients, but she's really put most of her time and effort to more, helping more people. And when we checked in, I come up with slow tango, and I share that option with my clients. I share the concept of slow tango. If you don't know, slow tango is one of my words for the year. It is still relevant and will probably be one of the words for the rest of my life. And slow tango is an intentional rhythm that I choose. It is doing my dance my way. So traditionally, tangos are really fast. And my friend and colleague, Christina Berkeley, showed this video one year. showed this video one year of doing the slow tango. And hey, Marianne, thanks, Kay. Good to see you. And it just struck me. My whole body responded to that rhythm. And what was interesting about my client yesterday was I was like, she works with a couple of coaches, including me. And one of her coaches I know really well. I totally love them. And they have a really fast rhythm. And that rhythm works for them. And so I was sharing with my clients yesterday, every single one of you, and you watching and you listening, I want to encourage you to set your own metronome. You know, a metronome is that tick tock, tick tock, tick tock rhythm holder, right? It's that rhythm holder that when I was little and taking piano lessons, right? Like we would set the tempo to the song we were to play, and it would help hold us to that tempo. And I really want to encourage you guys to think about your own tempo. And just like in music, when there is a bridge, and sometimes there is a change of musical notes, and sometimes there is a change of rhythm. You know, we talked this week how one of the things that went viral that was actually really fun to see was the two twins that are watching videos and watching, you know, they're watching music for the first time that we all grew up with. And so they saw Phil Collins, and in that Phil Collins song, In the Air Tonight, you know, it starts out really slow and rhythmic, and then there's the bridge to where it gets faster. So your own rhythm may have that. You have permission to adjust your rhythm. And I really want to encourage you guys that the rhythm the world tells us to run is not sustainable. And it's really the subconscious mass culture, mass consciousness rhythm is set to get you to want more and to buy more stuff. And it's set to make you think that you're not enough so that you want more, which is really tricky because a lot of us do want more. And so I don't want to criticize wanting more, but I really want to bring to the forefront for you to choose and for you to think about your rhythm. And it was interesting, this one client, she happens to be in real estate. The one that met her goals. And I said, I was in real estate. I know how they teach you. And they teach you in real estate that if you do not lead generate every single day, that your business will fail. And we're conditioned, we're told that by our teachers and our mentors. And what was so beautiful about the call yesterday, and I have permission to share this out loud, but one of my long-term clients, her name is Joelle, was on the phone. And it was so fun for Joelle to be there because I was like, hey, Joelle, tell XYZ what happened when you did things your own way. And Joelle was one of the first people that joined Soulful Success. She has been in business for 30 years. She's an amazing realtor. She used to dry her hair totally straight and dress from Talbots, and we make fun of it to this day. Not making fun of Talbots, but this client wearing Talbots is just wrong. And the first year she started working with me, she slowed down her rhythm. She started wearing her hair curly. She started dressing in the way, she's Puerto Rican, and she has a little bit of Puerto Rican flair. And she started being more fully herself instead of what the California real estate industry did. And she just loved on her people. That's another thing we say in Soulful Success is we just say, love on your people. And that's one of the things from the very beginning of becoming a businesswoman. Went back when I was a teacher, love on my people. And it's so tempting to get bombarded and seduced by all the things that can be helpful. I mean, certainly some of these systems and ways and things, and I don't have words for it today, can be totally helpful. And what happens is we slip those blueprints, we slip those hardcore lead generate every single day, get your funnel built. Fuck a funnel. One of my clients just spent a whole lot of money having a funnel and it totally worked. And she's like, I fucking hate this. I just hate the way it feels. And she's like, I don't need a funnel. I have everything I need. And my own coach told me that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, oh, if I do this and I have somebody fix this copy and do this copy, then I'll be gazillionaire. And she just looked at me and laughed. And she's like, Allison, I've watched you for 2 years. I watched you. Hey, Klaus. Oh, my God. Oh, Laura Long turned 65. Klaus. God, I love you. I miss you guys. It's good to see your name. Good to connect. Klaus is part owner and leader in Red Key Realty in St. Louis, Missouri. And he and his partner Jill were longtime clients of mine. I totally fucked some stuff up with them at one point. And gosh, it's just good. And so that's the thing. It's like, y'all, we are inundated because everybody's selling something. I'm selling something. Everybody's selling something. And we have all these ways that work to get people to buy. And they're genuine. My people are not assholes. So I'm making the grand assumption that when you're out there working your processes and your systems, you're doing it with a loving heart. And what happens is every once in a while, because those things work, our heart needs to rest. And so it slips and we forget to put it back in pole position. So please keep your heart in pole position. And my coach, Tara, was like, Allison, she was like, you hiccup thousands of dollars when you connect with people. And it wasn't even about the money. She just reminded me, she's like, that's all people ever want is just to connect with you. And so it was really fun. I made I was about to do this. So here's the story. I was about to my website's 5 years old. My opt-in is old. I was about to create this whole new course for Soulful CEO and it started to stress me out and it wasn't fun. And so I told my team, they wrote all this copy, they wrote all this stuff, and all I had to do was create the class. And the class is in my heart, so it wasn't complicated. And then I woke up one day and was like, what would feel really good? What would feel really loving? And I was like, none of this funnel shit. And so I created this opt-in that's like, fuck the opt-in, let's just connect. And it literally says, the only thing you're going to get when you fill out this form and tell me a little about you and your personal world is a personal, heartfelt email from me. Let's just connect. If somebody is going to take the time to give me their email, tell me who you are, what resonated with you. And so I was just like, I just don't want to do all that. I just want to love on my people. And why do we think that if we hire the next coach, or if we buy the next system, or if we hire the copywriter to go in and fix your whole funnel, that everything's going to work? I told one client this week, she's actually one of my not newer clients, but she's a newer, she's a Reiki practitioner. And she was really focusing on getting her message right. Really focused on getting her message right. And her Facebook thingamajigger, blah, blah. Her Facebook, Bill's so frustrated with me because I don't have words. How's that? You coach and teach and podcast for a living and you don't have words. You guys all understand me. And so she asked, and she was like, I just think, are these words right? Does this really describe what I do? And I said, sweetheart, you got to coach your ass off. She was like, I can't give everything away. And I said, so don't give everything away, but go out there and coach your ass off. Go. And I said, if you're going to take a class, because a lot of soulful people think if they take one more class, if you're going to take a class, take a sales class. I will say that. The one thing I see soulful people not know how to do, they know how to do their work, but they don't know how to sell. And so find a sales teacher that you love and learn how to sell. And by the way, you can't just take the class and learn. You actually have to practice. You have to practice. You have to screw up. You have to do it wrong. You have to bother people. You have to figure out your own language. But we put so much emphasis accidentally on all the tricks and tools. And I love me some tricks and tools. Back in the day, I was a Radio Shack girl. Who are my Radio Shack people? Radio Shack, man. My dad used to take me to Radio Shack. I got the gadget and the tool mojo from my dad. I love that kind of stuff. I love things that make things better. I love my ring light. Bye, Marianne. Love you. Good to see you. I love my computer. I love my phone. I love my fancy microphone. I love my holders, and I love the tools that help me distribute my work everywhere. But if I forget that I love you guys and I love myself, then it's just another fucking machine. And what if we were 80% connection and 20% task. For those of you that want to connect. I know there's some people out there that are machines and they don't want to connect with anybody. Those aren't my people. Love ya. Bye-bye. And we get energized. And I think about my weeks. And as I wrote my accountability form to my coach this morning, and I thought over the past week with all this move that I'm very excited about. When did I feel the most excited? When did I feel the most joy? Did I feel the most joy when our roof negotiations got settled finally? I felt relief, but I didn't feel joy. Did I feel the most joy when my team helped me with some stuff behind the scenes that was feeling really heavy, and they just took it and said, we'll do it. That's what we're here for. And they did it and they knocked it out of the park. I felt really good. I felt really supported. I felt really relieved. Did I feel the most joy? Friday mornings, I transfer all the money that I've made for the week into my bank account, from PayPal to my bank account, and I do my profit first allocations. I felt really good. I loved it. I felt a smile in my heart, but I did not feel joy. You know when I felt joy? I felt joy on Monday and Wednesday. I felt joy when I was having conversations in the community that is my clients. I felt joy at seeing other people connect and support each other. I felt joy when one of my clients shared that it was the anniversary of both of her parents' death, and she just wanted to let people know that her heart hurt and other people supported. I felt joy helping my clients figure out their profit first allocations. I felt joy making a dang spreadsheet for my clients. I'm feeling joy helping my clients get out of debt. I'm feeling joy watching them hold space for each other when one of them is being coached. I feel joy on Monday mornings when we have business calls from 11 to 12:30. I feel joy when we have life coaching calls from 11 to 12:30 on Thursday. I feel joy when my mastermind clients hold space for one another. I used to have a saying when I was in real estate. When I first got into real estate, the law P52, which is a marketing law. If you're not familiar, you don't need to go look it up or anything. But when I first got into real estate, title and mortgage companies were allowed to spend a lot of money on us, helping us do our marketing. And I remember having all kinds of people court my business. Oh, I can do this. I can send these postcards. I can do all these things for you. And somewhere in the first year of real estate, I realized that I can spend money on marketing. And I called it paper because at the time it was paper. I actually got into real estate in 2003. The internet, we were just getting email in real estate. And we certainly weren't doing email marketing in 2003. And my practice was spend money on people, not on paper. And so I was very unconventional in 2003 and 2004 in my early real estate days. I went to the classes. My company at the time, we had 95 new agents, and the way they did new agent training was they did 2 classes a day for 2 weeks. It was like a massive boot camp, and they taught us all the ways you can sell real estate. And I was so eager and needed so bad for it to be successful in the best way that I went full force. And at the time, I went full force with Allison, like what really felt good. And what felt good was people over paper. And all my deals, my first year and my second, all my deals ever, people, not paper, people, not paper, people, not paper. And it was connection. Set your own metronome. Set your pace. Don't let the world set your pace. Don't let me set your pace. I tell my clients, I talk to them about slow tango, and I share with them the song that I use as slow tango. I share with them the actual video. I listen to that song every single day. Sometimes I listen to it on my walks, and I walk that pace. I really want that pace to be mine. But slow tango, the actual song that I listen to, might not be your pace. Yours might be faster or slower. But what I want each of us to do is you have your own metronome and you set your own pace. And then the other analogy, so I'm going to cross over from music and the metronome to Newton's cradle. Anybody know what Newton's cradle is? Newton's cradle? Let me not pretend that I knew what that was. We had to look it up yesterday. Newton's cradle is that little scientific physics tool that has the hanging balls, and they swing back and forth all crooked, and then they eventually get in line with each other. And so there's actually been some really cool Newton cradle things set up in the woods. Beautiful Newton's cradle. It's just beautiful to see all these balls going crazy, and then they eventually entrain to one another. And my client yesterday asked, she's like, if I slow down, everything will fall apart. And I said, what if it's like Newton's cradle? What if you are the lead ball? Of course, we had to make some jokes about balls because that's what we do. We tickle some balls. So of course we had to make some ball jokes. But if you're the lead ball, if you decide the pace, at first it's going to feel chaotic because your life is used to a certain rhythm. Your life is used to a certain pace. Your body, your cells, and especially your nervous system are entrained. And so when you become the decider and when you choose to set your pace and set your rhythm, how do you know? Right? One client said, I know my rhythm, but my body doesn't like it. And I said, then that's not your rhythm. Your body will thrive. Your brain will probably freak out at how slow. Most of us need to pick a slower rhythm. Most of us. And it needs to fit with your body and your being, and your mind will come along last. But if you take that lead ball and set the pace, all the rest will end up entrained to your pace. How do I know? I've lived it. I was going at the really fast, crazy pace. My body wore out. I felt like I needed to constantly do more to be loved and approved and hired to even be in my marriage. And I finally picked a line. I picked my pace, I set my rhythm, and I began one day at a time to practice that rhythm. My nervous system freaked out, but I kept practicing and I kept practicing and I kept practicing. And every once in a while I speed up and I get ahead of myself and I run so fast I trip. And then I dust off my knees and I come forward again and I remember who I am. I talk about this all the time. I remember who I am, and I am open-hearted, slow tango, big profit, motherfuckers. And open-hearted is first. That's connection. Slow tango is my rhythm. And then the big profit isn't just money. I want my emotions to profit. I want my marriage to profit. I want my business to profit. I want my relations to profit. And while that is the words of the year for me, I think that might be the plan for the rest of my freaking life. Open heart, connection. I'm going to tell you what, I think y'all all know this too. It has been a little bit of cognitive dissonance since we aren't necessarily able to get in rooms with those we love. I was very used to almost every single month in person with my clients somewhere, within community, on retreats. Hey, Lauren, good to see you. Hey, Valerie, good to see you. I was in person on a regular basis. At this point, I've stopped counting the events and the retreats and the meetings and the things we haven't been able to do in person. I haven't even been able to meet. When I hired Amber lives locally, and I haven't even been able to meet her due to all the COVID stuff. And, we are doing a lot of technology meeting, and these little waves from these blue devices. I just got a new glasses prescription in February, and I need a new one already because we're spending so much time on the screen. And so instead of more connection, you'll notice I haven't been live a whole lot. More is not better. Better is better. And what was so fun about today is like in my mind, I knew I had the podcast and I can record it any way I want. And I checked in like, how do I want to record this podcast, this episode today? I just want to connect old school style. If I can't be in person with you, and that's what I really miss, then what is the next best thing? And the next best thing is as few restrictions between us. No fancy program. Just me seeing Valerie and Laura and Lauren and Klaus and Marianne and Kay and Laura Long and Odie Harma and all of you who are here that are saying hi. It's always a mystery who actually listens to the podcast. There's a couple hundred people every week that listen, and I have no idea who you are unless you tell me. And I would say your name too. So let's take a breath together. Thank you for spending time with me. The next podcast will be recorded from my new house. We close a week from today. We're moving next Saturday. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it won't be recorded. Maybe it won't be recorded from the new house. Maybe it will be. Who knows? I don't know. John, I'm saying hi to John. Hi. See, that gives me, even just seeing your names and your face and your little picture. Oh my gosh. So I don't know. I don't know what will revive your emotions or revive your business. But for me, I'm choosing connection, even though things are busy. I'm choosing my rhythm. I'm choosing, I'll miss you too. I'm choosing my connection, my rhythm. And it's interesting. Let me take another sip of coffee. We have scheduled on the calendar from August 15th, which is tomorrow, from the live recording. It's yesterday from the published podcast. But we're opening enrollment for Soulful Success and for 15 days. And I just have a friend that went through a quote launch. I don't even want to think of it as a launch. I've actually been doing a lot of personal connecting and have welcomed some new clients in without the doors open. And yes, we're opening to the public and would love for you to join us if it feels aligned with you. And I'm not doing a big old fucking launch. I'm just going to connect. And sometimes I'll connect via social media, and sometimes you'll connect with me, and sometimes my clients will connect with their referrals. But this time around, I'm not doing the big machine. I'm just going to piddle in the garden of life. I have a recent episode, somewhere recent. I don't know how recent they all run together, but you're a gardener, not a machine. And so if you're watching, I just want to remind you that you're a gardener, not a machine. That you may require some seasonal shifts. You may require some fertilizer and extra water. You may require some patience. I'm in a fiddle leaf fig group on Facebook. And one of the things that is so fun, fiddle leaf figs are really finicky plants. They don't like to be moved. They're just really finicky. The first one I had, I totally was not able to keep it alive. My second one's doing really well. But one of the things I notice about fiddle leaf figs is that everybody names their fiddle leaf figs. And as we leave this house that we've been in for the last 3 years, we did plant 2 trees, and my trees have names. So I know that is so corny, but my trees' names are Popo and Loopy. My fiddle leaf fig does not have a name. Its name is my fiddle leaf fig. But I even think about that in gardening, that gardeners end up creating names for their plants. They're living beings. And so I just wanted this episode and this live to be about connection. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for spending time with me this morning. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the summer. I'm jealous of those of you who are already approaching fall. It's hot as F-U-C-K here in Austin, Texas, 108 degrees today. And with that, I will go ahead and say, if you'd like to become a member of Soulful Success and be a part of our connection, be a part of our community, belong, Would love to have you. We have mostly growth and achievement business owners. We have some newer business owners, but mostly it's growth and achievement level people in our coaching membership and community. A lot of cross-pollination. A lot of people work with each other. You are totally welcome. This is the last time it will be offered at $222. When we open the doors again, I'm going to raise the price probably to $297 or $277. So it's the last time it will be at this price. We found that a higher price creates a higher value for my clients. You can go to coachwithallison.com, coachwithallison.com, join us. If you want to join us today, just scroll on right past the, what's that thing called? Oh, the wait list. Just go right past the wait list to join us. We'd love to have you. Thank you. And I'll be sharing some fun updates from our move to the lake. Peace out, you guys. I love you. I really do. I know that sounds so corny, but I really do. Because if I don't love you, I've unfriended you. Bye. As always, thanks for listening. Totally appreciate you thinking about somebody who might really love this episode and you sharing it with them. Also, I always appreciate your reviews. It's like podcast currency. It's like a tip in the jar saying thanks. And finally, if you want to share on social media a screenshot or any insights you get from listening to this episode, I will totally respond. You can share with the hashtag Better Life, Better Work Show. This show is sponsored by my 3 rescued dogs, Leroy Brown, Clementine, and Rocky Potato. They're here to remind you to consider adoption when you get your next pet. More is not better, better is better.